Welcome back to Haruto's Memory Mastery. Today our IT consultant tackles a common challenge for non-native English speakers. Similar sounding technical terms. Let's see how phonological distinctiveness techniques can transform communication clarity in international business settings.
Chapter 1. The Challenge. 8 weeks into his new role, Haruto had developed an impressive toolkit of memory techniques. However, a new challenge emerged during the morning meeting. So for the client portal, we need to implement user authorization? Or was it authentication? I believe we need both, but the sequence matters. First, authentication. Then, wait, which one verifies identity? After the meeting, Director Yamamoto asked Haruto to stay behind. Tanaka-san, I've noticed increasing confusion with similar sounding technical terms. This is causing miscommunications with clients and within our team. I'd like you to create a training document and presentation to help the team distinguish between these terms. Your recent success with memory techniques makes you ideal for this task. I understand, Director. This is particularly challenging for non-native English speakers. Precisely. Even experienced team members struggle when terms sound similar but have distinct technical meanings. As Haruto reviewed the list of problematic term pairs, he realized this presented a unique memory challenge. These terms don't just need to be memorized, they need to be distinguished from their similar sounding counterparts. My existing techniques might not address this specific challenge. Chapter 2. Frustration. The next day, Haruto created clear written definitions for each term and tested them with Aiko and Takeshi. Let's review. Data migration is the process of moving data from one system to another, while data integration is the combination of data from different sources. He then tested their recall. Which process involves transferring data between systems without necessarily combining it? Data integration? No, wait, data migration. And API gateway is the entry point for accessing microservices, while API pathway is, was it pathway or gateway that handles authentication? Later that afternoon, Haruto experienced the problem himself during a call with Kevin from FinTech Solutions. So we need to ensure the synchronous communication between systems. Yes, our synchronization process will ensure that. No, not synchronization. I mean real-time communication, not data consistency. After the call, Haruto felt frustrated. Despite understanding the technical differences, the similar sound patterns overrode the semantic distinctions when speaking. Simply memorizing definitions isn't working. When speaking quickly or listening, the similar phonological patterns cause confusion. There must be a better approach. Chapter 3. Discovery. That evening, as Haruto described his challenge to Mei, she nodded in recognition. You're dealing with phonological confusion. Our brains process similar sounding words based on sound patterns, which can override meaning, especially in a second language. So, how can we overcome this? My existing memory techniques don't specifically address sound-based confusion. You need phonological distinctiveness techniques. Instead of focusing only on meaning, you create exaggerated distinctions between similar sounds. Mei demonstrated with a pair of terms. For authentication versus authorization, exaggerate their distinctive parts. Authentication versus authorization. Notice how I emphasize then versus Thor? She then added visual and physical elements. Add visual hooks for then. I tap my wrist like checking the time, verifying when someone is who they claim. For Thor, I make a hammering motion, granting power, like Thor's hammer. So I create multi-sensory distinctions between terms that sound similar? Exactly. By engaging phonological, visual, and motor memory together, you create stronger distinctive hooks for similar sounding terms. Chapter 4. Practice. Over the next 3 days, Haruto developed a comprehensive system for each problematic term pair. For data migration versus data integration, he emphasized migration with a walking motion, data moving from one place to another, and integration with hands coming together, data combining. For synchronous versus synchronization, he emphasized chronos, simultaneous timing, with parallel hand movements, and chronization, making consistent, with hands aligning objects. He created simple icons that visually represented each term's distinctive elements. Authentication showed a key entering a lock, verifying identity, while authorization showed a badge granting access, giving permission. He practiced until the distinctions became automatic, recording himself to ensure his pronunciation emphasized the right syllables. Chapter 5. Cultural Element. During lunch the next day, Haruto discussed language challenges with his colleagues. Japanese has only about 15 basic consonant sounds, compared to 24 in English. That's why L and R distinctions are so difficult for us. And English has many more vowel sounds too. In technical language, this makes similar terms especially challenging. I've noticed that in Japanese business communication, we often rely on written confirmation to avoid these misunderstandings. Yes, but in international business, especially video calls, we need to understand and respond in real time. My English teacher used tongue twisters like "she sells seashells" to help with difficult sound distinctions. That's similar to the phonological distinctiveness technique I've been developing. It's about creating clear distinctions between similar sounds. Chapter 6. Application. The following Monday, Haruto presented his phonological distinctiveness system to the team. Today, I'll share a technique to clearly distinguish between similar sounding technical terms. Let's start with authentication versus authorization. He demonstrated the exaggerated pronunciations, emphasizing the distinctive syllables. Listen to the difference: authentication versus authorization. Authentication verifies who you are. Authorization determines what you can do. He showed the visual icons and demonstrated the accompanying gestures. For authentication, use this key icon and wrist-checking gesture. For authorization, use this permission badge icon and hammer-granting gesture. The team practiced together, turning the exercise into a collaborative activity. Aiko and Takeshi quickly adopted the exaggerated distinctions, finding them both effective and somewhat amusing. Synchronous communication is immediate, like my hands moving together, while synchronization ensures consistency over time, like my hands aligning objects. By the end of the session, team members were successfully using the system to distinguish between previously confusing terms. Chapter 7. Success. 2 days later, during a virtual meeting with FinTech Solutions, the technique proved its worth. Let's discuss the API Gateway implementation for the new portal. The API Gateway will handle the routing, while the authentication will verify user identity before processing requests. As Takeshi spoke, he subtly used the authentication gesture, reinforcing the correct term in his mind. The team maintained clear distinctions throughout the technical discussion. I'm impressed by how precisely your team discusses these technical concepts. There's no ambiguity in your terminology. After the call, Director Yamamoto approached Haruto. The improvement in team communication is noticeable. Other department heads have asked about your training method. Thank you, Director. The technique addresses a specific challenge for non-native English speakers dealing with technical terminology. I'd like you to develop this into a company-wide training module. Clear communication is essential for our international projects. Chapter 8. Reflection. That evening, Haruto updated his memory technique journal. Phonological distinctiveness addresses a specific challenge for non-native English speakers. Similar sounding terms. By creating exaggerated multisensory distinctions, we can overcome the phonological confusion that occurs even when we understand the semantic differences. This technique complements my other memory methods by specifically targeting sound-based confusion. While memory palaces help organize complex information spatially, phonological distinctiveness ensures clear communication of that information. As he finished writing, Haruto received an email about a 6-month project requiring retention of complex specifications over an extended period. A long-term project requiring consistent memory over months? I wonder what technique could help maintain recall over extended periods without daily reinforcement. Each new challenge was expanding Haruto's communication capabilities, building his confidence in international business environments.
Phonological distinctiveness helps distinguish between similar sounding terms by creating exaggerated, multisensory hooks for each word. This technique is particularly valuable for non-native speakers working with technical terminology. To practice phonological distinctiveness yourself, identify pairs of terms that sound similar but have different meanings. Exaggerate pronunciation of the distinctive syllables in each word. Create visual icons that represent each term's unique meaning. Add physical gestures that connect to each term's function. Practice until the distinctions become automatic in conversation. In our next episode, Haruto learns spaced repetition for maintaining memory over long-term projects. Until then, happy practicing!